this headdress, this space headdress. All right. And I'm gonna put some of the extra off my brush, and I'm gonna pick up the light green, and I'm gonna work that in a little bit here at the edge because I really want it to be noticeable that this part is further back. And I'm gonna mix a little bit of white into that for the brim here that is right towards the front. Because we're telling, through paint, we're telling it right now that this is the closest to the light source. This is where the light is shining. All right, and then we're gonna go switch back to our lighter green for this under bit because this is under the helmet. And we'll go in and we'll tell more about that story a little later, but for now we're just kind of filling it in. Right, and go ahead and pick back up with our green here. And right now I'm just using the dark forest green. And I'm gonna switch over to the detail brush here pretty soon because now I'm working with this smaller area. Because the inside here should be dark. It's the inside of the helmet, it's the darkest space. All right, and then on the outside, we'll move to the slightly lighter green. And then the same for the edge around here, that slightly lighter green, because the light is hitting it differently. All right, so we have the base in. We'll go back in and we'll add more in there later. All right, and still with my detail brush, I'm going to go ahead and start working in this area. So for this part, it'll be darkest on these little crevices here because they're not being hit by the light at all. We only know they're there because they're drawn out. And I'm going to hit that with a little bit of black because I want this part to be the same shade of green. So I'm going to put a little bit of black on my palette. And again, for my whites and my blacks, I prefer to use soft body paint. So it's very thin, it's very smooth, and it spreads nicely. If you're using student paint, it'll be naturally that thin. That student paint is something akin to like your apple barrel paints, your folk art paints. Okay, and we're going to work a little bit of black in there. We're not totally covering it, we're just adding a hint of it in there, just so that way it knows that it's a shadow. Right, I'm going to switch back to my 4 square and put in the rest of my green. Again, I'm trying to be careful about the direction of the way I'm doing my brush because it should come out. It should be radiating for the circle bit here. And then continuing on the other side. I'd have music for you, but I didn't have the chance to get Infectionary to set it up for me because he was streaming earlier. Okay, so we've got that in there. And we're going to do the edges of it in the lighter green. Actually, no, we should probably do it in the dark green too. I changed my mind. Prerogative to change your mind, especially when you're doing art. Now, but for the sides, the direction should go side to side, and I am going to add black there. Because the light is up there, not down here, so it wouldn't make sense for that part to be light. It should be slightly darker at the brim. And I think I'm going to add just a little bit of this black, just kind of coming out from the center, just so that way it really drives home like some depth. Because I'm thinking of this thing sort of like a tutu. It behaves a lot like a tutu, especially like a ballet tutu. It's very stiff. And I'm just bringing the brush strokes just short of the edge, like it should be the darkest towards the center. Okay, pretty happy with that at this point. Let's go ahead and rinse our brush and put in our base layer of red, and then we'll start putting in our black. Now, when we do our black, we will have to go over it a couple of times because it will show white at first, because I choose to use the soft body black. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put our Cad red on our palette. I need to remember to buy some more red paint. That's on my to-do list. Literally on a to-do list on our fridge right now. It says buy red paint. I also need to get some like vermilion. I need some different shades of red. And I'm making sure that my brush strokes are following the line of the body. And as I've said before, red is a very opaque color. So if you go over your green, it's not a big deal. It will just darken the green rather than mix your paint. And we'll be coming back and adding some more detail here. But for now, we'll just get it in there as a placeholder. All right, and now for our black. Let's go ahead and get started with that. And for this one, for my lines, I'm gonna wanna let it shape around the eye because the eyes are the dominating feature for this. I hope everyone's been having a wonderful weekend. If you haven't already done so, make sure you check in with your dads or your father figures. Today is Father's Day. I still have to call my mom. My mom was my dad. So today is also like Single Mothers Awareness Day. So if you didn't have a father figure, make sure you say Happy Father's Day to your mom. I love that emote, Telly. It is so stinking cute. Okay. And I'm just cleaning up my brush lines here a little bit. And I'm going to move over to my smaller brush because that area is way too wide for dealing in the center here. Oh, oh, I didn't know that different countries had different Father's Day. Okay. Learned something new. I learned something new. That's cool. I think maybe it's the day here because they usually like to do like cookouts. Super freaking cute emote. Cute, just like Telly. Okay, and getting up here into this kind of dicey area. And I want to clean up my rounded line a little bit there. There we go. And again, fixing my brush strokes. Ah, I like that one too. The only thing I'm sad about with that one is that in as small as it is, you can't see that she's got her fingers in like a pleading position, like please, pretty please. I think I'm gonna have to fix that spot. I don't like it. His eyes went a little wide on me. Okay, so it changes. That makes sense, because I think that they do that with Father's Day too here. Because it's always a Sunday. I need to fix this a little bit. The pupil got away from me. There we go. Okay. As bad as this is, I can't remember which day of the week it is, or which Sunday of the month it is for Mother's Day. I want to say for us it's the second Sunday, but admittedly, I am not the world's best daughter. I do not win world's best daughter. I called her. I know I called my mom, but she's in another state. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and put in the little like ankle circles here on these. And I might go ahead and do the outline of these shoes because while they're white, they have a lot of like detail to them. No, actually, no, I'll wait and do that after I put in the background. I'll wait and do that at the end. Okay, so we've got our base coloring in, right? We'll go ahead and put in our background while we're waiting for that all to dry. So we're going to do our phthalo blue. And our doxine purple. And I'm going to apply this with a crosshatch method. And what I mean by that is that I'm going to put it on the canvas in an X over and over and over and over and over and over and over again to fill in the background, because I don't want it to have a very smooth shape. I want it to be very kind of textured. So I'm going to start with throwing my X's on and then mix in the colors as I'm going to kind of create this galaxy look. And then I'll bring it in and use a detail brush when I get close up to the body. And this should, when it's finished, kind of help create this concept of I'm in deep space. And man's here in a little bit, you're going to lose your marbles because I'm going to flip the canvas. I'll give you a warning before I do it. Or maybe I won't. We'll wait and see how you do. And I'm going to actually go in at the while it's still wet, which is why I'm trying to do this relatively quickly, and add a little bit of atmospheric white in a couple of places. You're playing Subway Surfers? What? All right, what is that? Is it exactly what it sounds like? Are you like riding on the top of like a subway train? Team fight tactics? Okay. I think Infectionary was playing that for a little while, but I don't know if he was still into that or not. I can't always keep up with the games he's playing. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start smushing in a little bit of white in a couple of areas. Oop, too much on my brush. And you can kind of see how by doing that in a cross hatching, still kind of like blends it in a little bit, but you can still see everything else going on. You guys ruining my childhood? All right, remember, I know I've said this before. I did not have a conventional upbringing. I wasn't allowed video games growing up. It was something that was, per my mom, for boys. So I didn't touch a video game until I moved out and I was in college. So, you know, take all of that from me with a grain of salt. Oh, wow, nice. I remember my brother playing Sega Genesis and regular Nintendo, but I don't think he ever had the Super Nintendo. But I wasn't allowed to touch it. Like, he would lock it up in a cabinet or take it with him if he left the house. Like, he was super serious. Like, this is my stuff. I'm not sharing it with my sister. All right, and I'm gonna work in a little more white in a couple of areas. And a little off in the side too. And I can't forget to do the bottom of my canvas. All right, man, here's your warning. I'm about to flip. Ooh, nowhere to stick my palette. Flipped. Nah, Telly is not the oldest one here. There's no way that Telly is older than me. I'm reasonably sure I am the oldest one here. I'm still waiting on that animated emote to be approved, but I do have an animated emote for flipping a canvas, so y'all gonna lose your minds. Right. Oh, I just painted his shoe. All right, so I'm gonna have to correct that, but I have to wait for it to dry to correct that. It better be. I thought about you. I had a whole other idea. And I was like, you know what? No, we're gonna do something to make Man's happy. So for real, like, you better love it. I'm gonna be so mad. I'm still sure I'm the oldest. All right, we'll go with this. What decade are you born in? We'll start with there. Was there anyone before the 1980s? We'll start there. All right, I'm older than you, Telly. Anybody else born in the 90s or born in the 80s? Yeah, you a kid, mans. You're a kid. It's all good. All right, yeah. I was born. You were born in the 80s? Wait. I can't keep up. I can't keep up. So I'll go ahead and out myself. I'm okay with that. I was born in 87. I am 35 years old. 35 years young. Yeah. Pretty sure I'm the oldest one here. That's okay. I'm all right with that. I won't lose sleep over my age. I don't even celebrate my birthday. Exactly. That's exactly how you say it. I used to say 17 plus something, but then it got to be too hard to do the math. It's too much work now. Forever young. That's right. Good man. That's the way. This is the way. There you go. That's a good answer, Telly. I like that. I may wind up stealing that one day when I don't feel like doing the math. Because to be honest, I don't always remember my exact age because I don't think about it. Oh, you're still in school? Yep, that kind of makes it easy. It means you're in a bracket range of something like 11 months. And as I'm doing this and I'm filling in areas, I am doing little crosshairs around it because these are phthalo blue and dioxine purple are colors that layer and darken with every layer. So it helps it look a little less like I was moving around a shape. And we're still going to do some other stuff with the background too. So it's not quite done. Even once I get all of this base color in. For now, we're just filling in the space. I'm kind of bummed. I was going to play some soca and calypso music for you guys today. That was my original plan. I was going to give you some Florida education. Because that's usually the thing that people are most surprised that I like to listen to. I grew up in Central Florida, which is very diverse compared to, well, any of the college towns in Florida are incredibly diverse. Um, as far as like cultural diversity, religious diversity, you see a lot more of a mix in those areas because they're traveling from other places, they're from other states. But Florida itself has a very large Caribbean population. And I actually I was in the minority in my high school. I was definitely in the minority. It was a great time though. I was part of the Caribbean Appreciation Club and I consumed a lot of curry and listened to a lot of reggaeton, soca, calypso. We listen to a lot of island music. And most of our school dances, our proms, our homecomings, we listen to a lot of and I'm definitely about to carbon date myself. T-Pain, uh, Pitbull, Ludacris, Nelly. That was the principal stuff that you would hear growing up. And all the best dance halls were played Caribbean music. Oh, very cool. My mom worked at a place where there was a very large Filipino population. I always thought her boss's name was super cool. His name was Jam. But yeah, a lot of the times people, especially if they don't know the US really well, will believe that all of Florida is like the Florida Man meme. And that is probably true for all of the rural areas of Florida. But the larger cities are definitely not as back ass word as all of that. Certainly weird still. Like no discounting that. We're all fucking weird. But oh, very cool. That is dope. Too funny. Um, yeah, I've always lived in the minority for my area. And I learned to dance watching Nelly music videos. So I definitely have a very unique uh, dance style. We'll say that. Maybe I'll make that a redeem at some point, but I can only really do those when I'm gaming because I don't do a face cam when I'm painting. Because that would involve two cameras, and that is more than my little brain can wrap itself around. Welcome back. But yeah, I'm thinking about doing like a dance party redeem, but I'd have to find a way to make it where I could only do that while I was doing. Thank you. I could only do that while I was doing like a game stream. I couldn't do that as a redeem while painting. I'd have to get a second camera for that. Yeah, I didn't give you the announcement. I figured I'd wait until you saw. So I'm guessing that you're just noticed. How is Subway Surfers? A cat cam? I think during one of Infectionary streams, he had used my camera to show the dogs at one point. But I can't remember what it was for. But I think that was a couple of months ago. I think he was helping a friend with like a subathon or something. And I'm gonna go back over some areas and just kind of continue to crosshatch even over areas I've already lightened, just because it's adding a little more texture and dimension. Yes, my Luna is a crazy pooch. My Luna is definitely a crazy pooch. All right, mans. All right, I'm giving you a warning. I'm flipping the canvas. Okay? You ready? Are you ready? You're gonna have to be faster than that. You're gonna have to be ready. What do you think, guys? What do you think about that? Like a dance party redeem, would that be fun? It won't be nearly as exciting as watching Yoda twerk in a maid outfit, but it might make up a little bit. Would that redeem yourself? Is that fair punishment? Hey, you put the challenge out there. I just answered the call. Yep. Announcement. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Honestly, that made my whole day. In fact, I didn't hear about anything else the whole night. So, you made this little Floridian happy. I'm a pretty easy girl to please. All right, I need to put some more dioxine purple on my palette because I ran out. I feel that. I feel like I miss a lot of the good stuff because I am not awake in the middle of the night. Or at least not perpetually. Like, I know when Infectionary wakes up and leaves the room because I wake up. I mean, I do fall back asleep, but I don't sleep as well once he's left. And I won't lie, I called out a couple of days last week because he was not in bed at the right time and I didn't get sleep and I was just not about to adult on not enough sleep. I just can't do it. I suck at adulting when I'm tired. Like, I can't even fake being nice. Yeah, no. No. Be nice. This is my chat. Being nasty in my chat is more than the kindness. You get timed out. So you gotta be nice in my chat. Anybody else's chat I catch, you owe to the kindness jar. For those that don't know, I have a rule. Because I'm not into negativity and I don't want to see negativity when I'm hanging out with my friends. When I catch it, you gotta donate to the kindness jar. And that means posting something cute like an animal or whatever in the Discord page named Kindness Jar. So if you go over to my Discord, you'll see under General Mayhem, you'll see Kindness Jar, and that's where those go. That's where all debts for mean shit go. Swearing is not mean shit, as long as you're not swearing at someone. You can swear at a situation, you can swear at anyone, not at anyone and not at yourself. That's where that goes. Like, I can say this fucking canvas, but I cannot say so-and-so is a jerk or is a fuckface. Like, I can't say that. Can't say that. That's not okay. Just, if you need an example, those dims the rules. Dims the rules. And I'm still just kind of cross-hatching in a couple of places just to add some texture and dimension. Because like I said, the more you layer these colors, the deeper they get and they create a sort of like void. And he's in space, so a void would make sense. Yes, that works. Yes, a selfie works. As long as you feel pretty, like if it's one you're proud of and you're like, yeah, I killed it today, that can absolutely go to the kindness jar, especially if the thing you said was negative about yourself. All right, double negative, that's too hard to read, man. You cannot insult people with me in the chat. You cannot insult people with me in the chat, okay? Is that clear? Do we understand one another, sir? And I got to fix where earlier I lost track of my lines and I painted in part of the shoe purple. It's going to take a couple of layers to fix it, but that is the joy of acrylic paint. When you make a mistake, it is easy to make a correction. Just like if you're mean to someone, it's easy to say, I'm sorry, and then say something nice. If you can't say something nice, then you put it in the kindness jar. You gotta you have to fix what you put out in the world. Can't leave it a gaping hole. and I know someone somewhere just thought of a gaping hole joke, don't do it. Don't do it. And for clarity, I have to see it and realize it's an insult. And if I've got questions, I will ask. And unfortunately for y'all, means I'm going to be asking Infectionary. And he wants to see people owe to the kindness jar. So, be clear. All right, and I've got this little spot over here to do still. All right, mans, I'm flipping again. I'm flipping. You ready? You ready? You ready? 1, 2, 3. And we dropped it. And it survived. It landed on the other part of my dog cage underneath. So that worked out well. That's what I get for trying to be dramatic, okay? That's what I get for trying to be dramatic. My own fault. Hey, sometimes things go pear-shaped. It happens. Sometimes they just go pear-shaped. You lose control. And that's okay. I did. It was actually my fault. I dropped it, but I will put to the kindness jar. It was actually my fault. It was my own fingers. But I wasn't disparaging to myself. I was like, oh, okay, I did a thing. Okay. So now while the background is drying, we're going to start working on the detail work. And part of that detail work is outlining all of the shapes that I've created in black. Because a lot of the times with a cell animation, which is how this would have been drawn, you would have seen this as like all of the outlines. And it also helps the colors bounce better. In reality, I should have started at the top because it means I'm going to have to flip the canvas again. And, well, now I'm kind of anxious about it. That's part of the fun, though, Telly. So when they ante up into the kindness jar, then everybody benefits because then when they post the cute stuff in there, everyone gets to see the cute stuff. So I don't mind them racking up kindness debts as long as they pay up. Hi, Nilbert! How are you? Are you having a great day? I am fabulous. I got a late start on this today because somebody in my house decided to stream right as I was about to start streaming. And we can't both be streaming at the same time because then all you'd hear is each other's noises. Like you'd hear him talking in the background and they'd hear me talking in the background. And for the most part, because we are awesome and you guys are awesome, we share a lot of friends and we wouldn't want to make you choose. We wouldn't want to do that to you. Yes, Telly really needs sleep. Telly really needs some sleep. She took a danger nap and things are all messed up now. Infectionary, I believe, is asleep right now. I believe. He's not in the room with me at the moment. So if you need him, you guys send him a message on Discord and he'll see it when he wakes up. Danger sleep, danger sleep. It's like, oh, their secret power would be coma. That would be their power. Wait a minute, I missed a thing. Yeah, I mean, I think bats is always nice. At least to me. At least to me. She does owe something to the kindness jar. I do remember that she owed something to the kindness jar. So you need to post a cute little cat picture or something such to the kindness jar. I remember something or other yesterday. And Yoda already knows that he owes to the kindness jar for the makeup comment. You know the comment I mean. You don't need me to point it out to you. Pond poison. Oh, I love it. I love it. So epic. I don't know that I say owes a lot. Like I said, I don't. It only if I hear it. Only if I hear it or see it. If I didn't hear it and I didn't see it, for the cases of the kindness jar, it never happened. But if I see it or hear it and I call you out on it, then you owe. I need to create a command for that links to the Discord. That's on my to-do list thing. I mean, obviously that will only work in my chat, but it's still a thing I want to make. And I did link up earlier today my Twitch to my Discord so subscribers can see all of the traceables from all of my past streams. And I know a lot of you won't know this, but I did try streaming last year, and so you'll have access to all of the traceables from then as well. And I did a lot of cool Disney villain stuff. So those are all up there too. Thank you. I'm sure she does. I'm sure she does, Yoda. I just didn't catch it. If I didn't catch it, it doesn't count. But I mean, if y'all want to be kindness police in your own chats, I'm here for that too. But I think maybe I'm the only one who cares about that. That's my shtick. That said, if it ever does get super annoying and you want me to knock it off, all you have to do is say, Emmy, knock it off. No, Telly, you will never have to owe to the kindness jar. You are always super nice to everybody. You are the sweetest little duckling ever. And honestly, if anyone in here is not already following her, you need to. You need to. Although I think at that point that's already been resolved. I think everybody is probably following everybody at this point. All right, I'm not reading out loud, so I'm skimming real quick. I'm catching up. Hey, yeah, exactly. All right, you already caught yourself. You already knew that comment itself deserves something to the kindness jar. I will be looking later. I will be looking. I promise you. All right. All right, mans. I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna flip it. There we go. Did you live? Or are you rolling over? Are you rolling over yet? Are you laughing? Good. Good. I'm glad that is so entertaining for you. I wish I understood why it was so entertaining for you, but I don't need to. I don't need to understand. I just know that it is, and that's cool. Understanding absolutely everything is overrated. Oh, I don't think I finished saying. So I updated my Discord to show the roles. Um, Members of Sunshine Subbies will see all of those older posts, and also there's a separate area for making suggestions for things you'd like to see me paint or play or do whatever. That's your place to say, hey, will you do a thing? And all of the links for all the different YouTube videos are up there too, in their own separate channel. Yes. Yes. So she has requested an ice cream painting, and I'm going to do something kind of special with that. I'm going to mix the paint with shaving cream so that way it has a really raised texture. It is going to be awesome. I don't know if that'll be a like a midweek painting, or if that's going to be like a Sunday stream. But when I land on a date, I will let you know. Please, please don't. Please don't. 0 out of 10, don't recommend. I don't think that would be tasty. But if you want to have a shaving cream war, those are really fun. I used to do those a lot during sleepovers. I'm mildly concerned for you. Mildly concerned for you. Remind me of a kid I went to high school with who thought it would be funny to snort salt, like during lunchtime. That did not go well for him, and I don't imagine this would go well for you. So please, please don't. I don't want to hear that you had to do a hospital trip. Who would do that? Well, a really stupid guy who thought I was really into people who did punky pranks. And he was especially stupid because at the time I was only dating girls. So he was just an idiot who literally could not read the writing on the wall. All right, I gotta know who's that. Okay. Oh. You know what? Smelling salts are a little different than snorting table salt. All right, it's a little different. It's a little different. Okay. I want to flip it. No warning. All right, now I'm going to outline the legs and the brim up here. All right, I went from being mildly concerned to very concerned. I am very concerned for you. I think we might need to do like wellness check-ins on you. Be like, has anyone heard from Mans today? No? Okay. What city is he in? Let's check with the hospitals. All right, and part of this, I'm going to have to flip the canvas again to get the other side, the underside of this. So I'm just turning Mans' world all freaking topsy-turvy. There we go. You're already smirking? You ready? You ready? Hey, if it makes you happy, that's all that counts, right? I am not about to judge what makes somebody else smile. All right, and I'm kind of sorry, I'm gonna be blocking the view a little minute while I get over here. Yup, back to the kindness jar, Mans. Back to the kindness jar. Should start creating like a tally. Is that something I can do? Like a tally jar? Like an in progress jar? I'm gonna have to, I'll have to look into that. Keep track of the debts. An account book. That should be the theme. It'll be an account book. Ooh. Yes. Yes. Are you trying to get the charms to stay on there permanently, or do you want them to be able to come off? Because if you don't want them to come off, you should probably actually use E6000 so that they stay more permanently in place. Hot glue has a tendency to loosen over time. It makes me think of that episode of the Powerpuff Girls where they had the villain named Elmer who literally ate Elmer's glue. And I know the canvas is already white, but I want to add this to cover up any of my brush strokes. Good, thank you, Yoda. I'll count that as settled up after I take a peek after stream. All right, and we're just kind of touching up our lines here a little bit. And then we'll start doing our dot work. Because at this point, we've just got the base painting in. Like, this is the bare minimum. So we are, the first third of this is done. But now we got to add all the fun detail work. What did you realize yesterday? Oh, that it would come loose? Or something else? I love it. That's adorable. All right, let's touch up here real quick. All right, and now we're going to start the dot work. I can't see that I would ever do like a a tattoo that has words on it, just because I would be afraid of how it would look as I got older, like if it would still be legible or if it would just turn into like Sanskrit with time. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't warn you, mans. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Trigger warning. I actually have a tattoo channel in the I think it's the crafting section. It's not under general mayhem. It's got its own little thing. But if you want to put it in the kindness jar, you can. You can put it in either place. I'm darkening up the back here a little bit with another layer of this green before I start putting in my dots, because I really want a nice smooth transition there. There we go. And on the other side as well. And I'm pretty happy with this area. I don't think I need to mess too much more with the skirt area. I mean, I call it a skirt. I don't know. Is it like a Martian kilt at that point, really? Asking for a friend. Okay, and now I'm going to use a little bit of that lighter green, and I'm going to kind of touch up this area. There we go. All right, and now without further ado, let's hop into it. Huh? I'd call it the... Call what? What? I'm not even sure what you're referencing there, mans. What are you calling it? Okay, now I'm gonna bust out my dotting tool. And again, you don't have to have a dotting tool to do this. You could just use the back end of your paintbrush. You could literally dip the end into your paint. Oh, oh, okay, okay. You mean that quite literally. You were answering my question about this. Now I get it. Context. Context matters. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, and I'm sorry, Mans, I want to do it to you again because I haven't touched the yellow, so it's easier to work with. And I'm gonna put my first little base layer of dots in, and I'm gonna do it in the same color. The reason I'm doing this, even though it's the same color, is it creates texture. And this is a very textural painting, or at least this style is. When you were to, if you were to rub your fingers over it while it's dry, you should feel a ton of little bumps. Art acne. Not to be confused with Acme, which does not work. All of their products always failed. The Wile E. Coyote. And I'm doing these kind of big because I want this to be very textured. And it's actually visible, even though it's the same color. Like if you were to be looking at it much closer, you would realize that, oh, there's a lot going on here. And I'm going to do it up here as well. but I'm going to concentrate this darker yellow towards the edge, like midway. Enough to where it's visible where I've caused the color to go lighter, but not so much that it would ruin the balance. And you want to be careful that when you're doing the dotting technique that you are occasionally pulling the excess paint off the side and redistributing it to the center. All right, so we got our base layer of yellow in. And now we're going to put in a base layer of white. And I'm going to do this with the smaller end of my dotting tool, because I want these to be smaller. These are less important. They are supporting characters. And I will drag the white all the way up into the yellow after I get the white in there to start with. And now I'm going to add some of this white into the base part of the hat. And it's helpful to have your palette close to you when you're doing the small dots, because you'll run out of paint very quickly. And you shouldn't overthink this part. You should just literally go until it feels full. Because this is a meal. This is a meal. All right, so we've got our base in. And I'm going to drag off the extra paint off my dotting tool. And I'm going to start working on the green. And I'm going to actually put black in first because I'm starting with this darker area. And I might actually put a little bit of the black in the little base of the hat too, actually. There we go. Mans, you owe to the jar. You absolutely have the brain cells. You absolutely have the brain cells. To the kindness jar with ye. I'm almost going to need an Alexa command for you for it to keep track. A tally jar. Round 2, you owe 2. 2 now. Keep it up, mans. Self-disparaging marks count 2. You're gonna burn right through those. I know you said you had a cache of them waiting, but you're gonna run out. But that's okay. This is how reform occurs. Reform occurs with practice and repetition of good behaviors. We will get there. We will get you there. And right now I'm still just doing the black, and I'm going to bring the black all the way up to the brim of the helmet. Mans, number 3. I expect to see 3 more. I really do. I'm gonna need a tally command. Or maybe that can be like a generated command where we ask it to generate like a point system for me for that. Ooh, what about this as an idea? What if I made it a redeem to forego like a high number for skipping owing to the kindness jar? What do we think about that? What do we think about that as a concept? I mean, I don't love it nearly as much because it's not as good for you as it would be to dopamine boost everybody else. But as a concept, what do you think? Crowdsourcing. Like, if you can't be nice, you're either going to pay me or you're going to pay the kindness jar. You're really doubling down on it, aren't you? You're really doubling down. All right, and I've moved over to my dark green now. Exactly, we're going to have to fix that. It will not become second nature anymore. We're going to fix it. I got you. Team effort. It takes a village. Just not a Resident Evil village. Okay. All right. Baby steps, baby steps. I can accept that. It's not going to happen overnight. Any worthy changes take weeks to make. And that is with repetition. I think I remember reading that in one of those horrible Chicken Soup for the Soul books when I was a teenager. It's practically required reading. What was it, like effective daily habits for a teenager or something such? It won't take a century. Although at this point, I think you like it. I think you like donating to the kindness jar. You know, you don't have to be mean to yourself or anyone else to donate to the kindness jar. You can just do it. I mean, that is an option. If you feel so motivated. Two for one special. All right, but just so you know, I can't keep track of the debt. So if you pay extra, it doesn't mean that you get freebies later. Just understand that. You can't prepay for crimes. Okay, I'm gonna rinse off my dotting tool. That makes me think of a Russell Peters joke. I saw Russell Peters live at the Orlando Improv a couple of years ago, and he had done a joke that, I mean, I'd seen it on I think it was either a Netflix special or on YouTube, and he was like something along the lines of a Chinese man and an Indian man cannot do a deal together because the Chinese man is always looking for because the Indian man's always looking for a deal and the Chinese man won't give a deal. I mean, I butchered it entirely. I am not a comedian, but it was something along those lines. And for those that don't know, Russell Peters is a guy that pokes fun at all nationalities. Like, no one is safe. And I'm doing a little bit of white in the brim because that's where the light is. And I'm using the smallest of my dotting tool edges. Nice! I look forward to seeing those when I go off stream. Maybe it'll provide some inspiration. I still have to draw out my Queen of Hearts tattoo from my other ankle. But I think it's going to be a little minute before I get to do that one because the artist I had for my Cheshire Cat one fills up really fast, like her appointments do. Even for my first tattoo, I had to book that appointment like 6 months in advance. Okay, and I'm going to move on to this part. Well, of course, your next one is going to be a duck. That would make sense. Do you already have a duck tattoo? If you don't, I'd be sort of disappointed. Oh, that's a good one. That's actually really, that was a good wordplay. That was a good wordplay, Wayne. That was good. That was good. That was good. For this, for Telly's skin's sake, I hope that a quack is not doing her tattoos. But I think she's sensible enough to choose a good place, especially if she has multiples. She probably already has an artist that she really likes, and she obviously wouldn't be a repeat customer if he was a quack. At least I would hope not. Yes, you can do optimistic jokes. Those are permissible. You can do optimistic jokes. Those are Emmy approved. That was a good one. That was a good one, Sally. I love it. You came back with that really quick. Were you sitting on that one for a while, or were you just inspired? All right, and now I'm gonna do some big dark green ones. You are very quick-witted. Your wit category is maxed. Don't you worry about your charisma stat. Your charisma stat is just fine. Your wit one is where you're gonna win. That's your winner. Hey, that works. That works. If you've got that kind of a gift, go for it. I can only give a quick witty one-liner every now and again. It is not my talent. When it does happen, it shocks the pants off of everybody. And what's terrible is there were usually ones where Infectioner would relay a joke back to me, and then I would have a quick one-liner back for it, and he'd share it, and it'd be like, man, I didn't even get credit for that. So some quick witty one-liners of his may actually have been me, just FYI. Oh, well, I suppose, but I don't know that I would say that's the funniest thing ever. My favorite form of birth control is watching a woman give birth. That's the best form of birth control there is. You will never want to have a child. Oh, sorry, Mans. I didn't give you a warning. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was so gross. It was like I was in the 8th grade and it was this stupid like PBS special and it was called The Miracle of Life. Really? You don't notice when I don't give you a warning? Oh, well, that makes it a little less entertaining. Does it take the joy out of it for you a little bit? I need to darken this red a little. I'm not happy. I'm not happy with it. And I need to brighten it up. It needs another layer. My puggle is in here crying for dinner. Oh, Fudgeroni. It's an hour past his dinner. Hold on. Let me go and get infectionary to feed the dogs. Give me just a second. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Sorry, I had to shake awake the hubby to take care of the doggies. We usually feed them like at 4:30, so they're like, it's no wonder he was crying at my feet. He was like, "Mom, you evil bitch, why didn't you feed me?" And now I owe to the kindness jar because I called myself an evil bitch. Fuck, now I owe 2 things to the jar. All right, I owe 2 to the jar, guys. I owe 2 to the jar. What? I can order the jar too. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes whoopsies. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and do some large white dots in his eyes, again, just for the texture of it for right now. And they're gonna be really big. Like, this is gonna be very chunky. This is also a great way to use up a lot of extra paint on your palette. Well, yeah, I mean, you're still learning. I know better. We have a swear jar at work, so I have a lot of practice in not being mean. I'm also a public servant. I work for the city. So, being nice when you really don't want to be is sometimes the major part of the game. Yeah, there was a couple of girls that owed a lot of money to our swear jar. But I actually have only put in a handful of times. I've got good restraint. I've also got decent substitutes. Like, I can say, "oh, sugar." I'm allowed to say, "oh, sugar." Like, you're allowed to use substitutes. You just can't use the real word. Aw, thank you, Telly. I love the dot technique. It's my favorite. Whenever I'm doing pulp culture characters, I almost always do a dot style. It's just more fun. And now I'm going to go over here and do this side. My favorite substitution swear word is mother, father. Ah, I get it. I like it. I don't have a substitute for motherfucker. I don't. But it's also one I'm not inclined to use a whole lot. I mean, yeah, I guess you could just switch the language, but that is seen as especially rude here. And if you switch to a language no one else understands, they already assume you're swearing at them, and they will get very upset with you. Like, that is a major faux pas where I live. I imagine that's probably also a faux pas in a lot of other countries, like to not use the accepted, like, standard language, whatever that may be someplace. In places where they accept multiple language, that might be a little bit different, but places like Quebec, where English and French are used equally, it fucked me up when I went there to see the street signs in both languages. Although in Sydney, I saw that street signs were in a couple of different languages. I think I'd seen Japanese, maybe some form of like simplified Chinese. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on that one. And then I don't know if I said Japanese, but Japanese, English, and some form of Chinese. And I think in a couple of places I also saw some Korean. We're doing Marvin the Martian. Welcome in. Or something. Yeah, weren't you trying to go to sleep during Infectionary stream? What happened to that? Are you experiencing the worst kind of insomnia? Or did you also take a danger nap? Oh, anxious. Hey, mans, O to the jar. O to the jar. Like, I felt it. I felt the judgment in that. No, no, sir. You can be sympathetic, you can be suggesting, you can be, concerned, but no, no, no. All right? Hear me? You hear me? It makes everybody laugh. Which is, I think, part of the reason he may do it. I think he does that intentionally almost. Don't know for sure, but it might be a thing. And if so, you know what? I'll let him have the comedic value. At least at this point, he's mostly not hurting anybody. Mostly. To be determined. I'm kind of feeling weird about that. All right, now I'm gonna go up and add my large dots to the black. And again, I'm doing these very big because this is gonna be like the big focal point. Like this is his face. So these dots are gonna be huge. They're providing emotional support. Oh, yeah, I can't play horror games either for similar reasons, Courtney. I'll watch Infectionary play them from time to time, but sometimes they get a little too scary, and then I have to leave the room, and then I have a hard time falling asleep. Like, especially ones with, like, chainsaws in them. I have some PTSD with that. You are not a big baby. It's that is, I feel like that's more normal. Like, I feel like it's traditional to be, upset by those kinds of games. Not that it's a bad thing if you enjoy them, more power to you. But I feel like it's more traditional to be afraid. Yes. There are a couple of rides at Universal that have jump scares in the queues, so I always have to go through them like screaming, I have a heart condition, I have a heart condition, please don't jump out at me, so that they don't try to scare me, because I will 100% like pass out. And I'm doing these really close together because I really want this super textured. And then I'm going to go back in with like a gray, and I might work in a little bit of the green in here too, just because I feel like it would add a little bit of cohesion. What is a ghost train? Is a ghost train just a train with nobody else on it? I don't know this terminology. What is a ghost train? Oh, you're not big on the rides either? I had a couple of friends like that. What we would do with them is they have an area, they call it child swap, where if you've got a large group, but part of your party, excuse me, for whatever reason, won't ride the ride. That way the whole party doesn't have the one person isn't sitting by themselves, and then the other half of the party can just go through like a short line instead of waiting through the whole line twice. And I did that with a couple of my friends in high school that absolutely would not ride rides that had drops to them. Be it a water ride, a roller coaster, didn't matter. If it had a drop, she wouldn't go on it. She didn't like the way it made her stomach feel, which is fair. That is a valid concern, especially if you're a person that experiences a lot of motion sickness. No, that was the first time I ever rode a roller coaster. It happened a lot like that. And you know what's funny? I wound up loving it. I rode the same coaster like 6 times in a row. There we go. We've got a super nice textured face now. And I'm going to go ahead and start working on the details in the skirt, in the skirt, or as Mans would say, the circle thing around his waist. You know, however you want to look at it. I actually still think it looks mostly like a ballet tutu. A tutu kilt. That's what we're going with. And I'm going to use black in the dark areas here, just to really, again, highlight that those are in the shadow. All right, that looks a little too much like the word crotch for me. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not calling it that. We will just call it a tutu. We'll just call it a tutu and be done with it. Because the acronym sort of makes me uncomfortable. All right. And let's go ahead and work some of these little black dots into the shirt now. We're getting there, guys. We're probably about, I don't know, halfway done with the texture. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're too scared to fall asleep. If I actually knew the words to any lullabies, I'd sing one for you. But quite honestly, you'd probably laugh more than fall asleep because I have like the world's worst voice now. Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst. All right, all right. I won't talk about I won't talk about the game that made me scared then, because it was the same kind of nightmare I had afterwards. I'll have to learn a lullaby for you for the next time. I feel you though. Vivid dreams suck because you wake up exhausted because it was like you were there. Yes, yes. Good job, mans. Good job. Good recovery. I'm proud of you. All right, let's go ahead and put some dark green dots into the tutu. I like head pats too, if I'm totally honest. But I like rubbing my face on things. Like whenever I see something cute, I always kind of say, I want to rub my face on it. I mean, people look at me like I'm weird, but people always look at me like I'm weird. So I've come to accept that as a natural fact of life. And I just don't think about it too much anymore. Well, you're going to have to learn to take kindness. I'm giving you a compliment, damn it. Just take it. It's growth. It's emotional growth, mans. I'm proud of you. All right, I have no comment for that. I hope you really never stick your face on a hot plate. A hot plate is not cute. I was talking about animals and like cute people. And yeah, I've actually said that to a person. Just, I was like, man, you're so cute. I want to rub my face on you. Granted, it was like another Disney Dapper Darling, and we were dressed as unicorns, and she was really stinking cute. But, mans, I'm worried about you. Do I need to start doing, like, mental health calls with you? Do we need to start doing that? Do you need personalized attention? All right, so we got our base layer of our green in. Let's go ahead and add our light green dots. All right, well, being worried is being kind. You are aware of that, right? Like, one kind of corresponds to the other. You go to the jar. You go to the jar, mans. You are gonna learn to be nice to yourself. Even if it kills me and you, you're gonna learn to be good to yourself. Okay? Do you hear me? Are you listening? Acknowledge me, damn it.
What?
Not not you. I'm talking to Mans. I need him to acknowledge that he heard me. Sorry. You gave my husband a heart attack. Not okay. That's not okay, Mans. It's not okay. Keep it up. That kind of speaking is going to get you timed out. It would be the first time out. I don't want to do that to you. I want you to observe and be happy, but I need you to not infect. I need you to not infect the happiness of my chat room, okay? Emote that you understand. All right, and I'm going to put a little bit of white here at the edge. Well, I gotta be nice to everybody. That's sort of my thing. So you're just gonna have to get over it. That's my thing. And if you're not careful, you'll hit Rage Emily, and she's not fun. Rage Emily is not fun. There we go. Cool. I'm happy with that. Okay, let's go ahead and do some big chunky red dots. All right, somebody tell me something good that happened in their day today. We need a palette cleanser. Yeah, Rage Emmy is quite scary. I am very quick to blow up. I'm very quick to blow up. I have a very short temper, actually. I work very hard at it. I have an anger management journal because my temper is such that it is frightening. Oh, Cuddles. Okay, hold on. Cuddles, Cuddles, Cuddles. Everybody cuddle Courtney. Everybody cuddle Courtney.
Wow.
Congratulations, Telly. I know how big of an accomplishment that is for you. Congrats, congrats. That is a demonstration of great growth. What? Great job, Telly. That is epic. I'm so proud of you. Massive achievement. Achievement unlocked. You the woman. It's okay, Yoda. There I'm sure she loves you. I'm sure she loves you. She's got a lot of love for everybody. Well, she's so lucky that there are so many people that love her. Okay, and I'm going to put a little bit of white in here. I don't claim to understand anybody else's relationship. If it works for them, that's all that matters. I don't have to get it. And that makes me sad. That makes me so sad. I want you guys to be nice to each other. I want you guys to be nice to each other. It makes me sad. Well, if you're my sunshine child, does that make me grandma? I'm really not into this as a concept. I'm going to be honest. I'm not into the concept of being grandma. I'm not okay with that. I mean, I know I'm old, but damn it, I'm not that old. That was a good one. Brava. I am so proud of you, Telly. Epic. Epic. See, that's where the quick one-liners come in real nice. All right, now we're going to do a little bit of gray, and then we'll start working in our background. Actually, I think I kind of want to bring some of the yellow into the top part of the helmet. But I'll add a little bit of gray first before I do that. All right, so we want to put a little bit of gray everywhere we have white. And these should be tiny but mini. I had to ask somebody, I had to ask Infectionary last week what Riz was because I didn't realize what it was. And he told me it meant charisma. So what does is Rizney the same thing as charisma, or is that something else? Educate me. I know nothing of it. But you are so adorable, Yoda. You're so adorable. And you're going to be even more adorable in a maid outfit twerking. If you need tips on how to do it, I can send you videos on how I learned to dance. Nope, that wasn't a dream. That's a real thing that's happening. And I am so excited. Literally have not stopped smiling internally about it. I am laughing so hard. And it's not even here yet. I'm laughing in anticipation. I am so freaking excited. Like, I will not miss a second of that stream. I will schedule my lunch around it if it winds up being in the middle of the day. Like, I want to be home for this. It is epic. It is epic. I'm so excited. Like, I want an announcement for that one. Like, you have to make sure it goes in your going live announcement, so that way I know what it is. Dude, I already told you, you gotta get petty pants for your junk. It'll protect your butt cheeks, too. And bonus, they're usually sort of frilly and they've got lace on them, so it adds to the adorkableness of it. But again, it provides a measure of modesty. I have a pair of blue, red, and white I can mail up to you if you feel like you need some coverage. They stretch, so they should fit no matter who, you know, you're still moderately sized. You could probably wear the same pair. Too skinny? Really? You don't think we have similar waist size? What's your waist? I'm a 30. A 30 waist. And it will stretch to like, I don't know, 36. Yeah. 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 Oh yeah. If it was designed for women's size, I'm not sure about that because I do a medium. And his waist his waist is a little, just a little bigger than mine. So maybe at least the medium. Because if it doesn't stretch, then it will just break, and then he won't wear it because it won't fit. So, you know, sensibility. Well, yeah, I mean, you already have entirely too many wives. Could you imagine what would happen if you did a maid outfit stream? It might even get flagged as porn. Careful. I mean, you would have no trouble getting viewers. I can promise you that. Oh, I do not have Riz. I am just very direct. I just say exactly what I'm thinking when I'm thinking it, and sometimes it just comes off as funny. So, no, not charisma. It was just a happenstance. She needs a harem, guys. She needs a harem. I don't know what you name all of your wives in your Discord, but I think you should name them your harem. Like, get on that. That's a good name for them. Maybe you could have like a queen wife, top wife, chief wife, chief wife. There you go. Your main wife should be your chief wife. Happy to provide assistance. Inspiration, however you want to look at it. I'm sorry. She was good. She was doing it anyway. I just gave it a name. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. I don't think I can take it. I'm not built for that. No, no, no. There are some people whose marriages are saved by that kind of arrangement. Doesn't necessarily mean it's failed. It just means you don't have to do all of the work anymore. It means you share responsibilities. Be like, man, today she's emotionally a lot of work. Then you can pass her off to the next wife. That's what you do. That's how that system works. Maybe I need a harem. No, I don't need a harem. I'm quite happy. But I could always use more fur babies. Pictures of fur babies. I don't have enough space in my house for physically more fur babies. Oh, I like the idea of a comfort. Can I have like a girl date? I like the idea of a comfort day planned. Can I have a girl date? Smoochy smoochies. Okay, and now I'm going to bring it up into the eyes. Because that's where you look at a woman, is in her eyes. Ah, thank you, Courtney. And then we'll start working on filling some more dots in his face. And then we can start kind of maybe tackling the background a little bit. I tend to save that for last. And I still kind of want to bring some of that yellow into the hat. So I'm going to do that real quick. Just kind of up here towards the top. Just kind of a hint of it. Hi, Tarts! How are you doing today? All right. Now let's mix up a little bit more gray. And I want my gray to be a little bit darker this time because it's going in the face. Good. I'm glad you're doing good. We are working on Marvin the Martian. This was a subscriber request. And I need a little more black on my palette for what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. Because I want this to be closer to like charcoal. It shouldn't be super noticeable because I'm going to be doing a couple of little layers here of it. All right, and I'm going to mix a little more white into my gray. Just to create just that little fraction more of dimension in their face. All right, we're getting there. We're getting close. It's starting to wind down a little bit. I'm gonna have to get the hair dryer when I'm finished because I have been requested to sign this with a sort of special message. So I'll need to be able to write on more of it. All right. Wipe off my dotting tool. And I'm pretty happy with the way it looks right now. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on the background. And for the background, I'm going to start with white. And I'm thinking I'm going to go with like a starburst effect. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of chalk. When I find a piece of chalk. And I'm going to do a couple little diamond shapes to help me inform where those stars are going to happen. It's a dance party! Dance party! Ayo! And we'll do a little one here. I'm just kind of deciding where my little stars are going to happen because, you know, he's a Martian. He's in space. Have a good sleep, Courtney. Thank you. Ah, Pika Dance! Oh, that's adorable. So adorable. I love the little emotes. So cute. All right, so we've got kind of our stars happening. And I'm going to start with my tiniest dot. And I'm going to fill that shape, that shape's outline. And then when I'm done, you won't see the chalk anymore because I'll just wipe the chalk away because the chalk can disappear really easy. So stinking cute. So stinking cute. I don't think I'd rub my face on a Pikachu, though, knowing what it would do to me. It would probably stun the crap out of me. But I'd probably want to. I'd look at it and think, I want to rub my face on that. Alrighty. And so we've got kind of our first little understanding of where these stars are, right? So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of that white and mix it into the colors I used to make the background to generate a sort of light purple and a light blue. Or at least a lighter purple. It'll be sort of a very rich purple. I need to put a little more paint on my palette. I don't have quite enough to get the job done, I think. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little tool and my sort of lightened purple, and I'm going to go around the dots that I made in the white. Actually, I think for this I might use dashes, not dots. I'm going to switch over to my detail brush. I think that might look better. So I'm just going to stretch my little dots out to dashes. Because I think that would imply more movement. I think I like that better. And I'm gonna go and do a couple of these concentric like diamond shapes. And this is like the background layer here. Bless you. And I'm gonna just keep putting these little dashes sort of around as my first initial background of these stars. It's kind of telling a story. And I'm going to keep doing this until ultimately the outlines touch each other. And this is part of the reason why the details we put into the background only matter so much, because ultimately they were just the first little detail. And I'm not necessarily gonna fill the whole canvas, but it does kind of finish like telling a nice little story. Like you can see all the crosshairs in the background. Like I'm not covering all of my hard work up. It's still visible there, but it's all supporting roles. And supporting roles are important in art. You can't have a main event without a supporting role. And don't forget to do the sides of your canvas. And now the bottom area over here, gotta finish telling that story. She is looking so pretty. Or rather, he is looking so pretty. He's looking so handsome. All right, I need a little more of my purple. I ran out. We're starting to get really close, guys. Trying to decide what you want for breakfast. I would vote waffles every day of the week. But barring that, I'd probably go with turkey sausage or turkey bacon and egg whites. That'd be my personal pick. All right, and I'm gonna flip the canvas real quick so I can get the other side and the bottom side. Oop, and I totally just got paint on my mic. Go me. Huzzah. Really? Never? Is it really not so much a thing over there? Okay, I'm pretty happy with that now, and now I'm gonna go in and add in my light blue. Is it because like breakfast meat isn't a thing there, or is it just like not substitute breakfast meat? Fair. But you guys have other healthier habits, so you don't have to probably worry about that so much. It still kills me. That is so random, Infectionary. I'm hoping that that's leading into something that goes into sleep. I think you owe to the kindness jar. I mean, it's funny, but I think you owe to the kindness jar. When your moderator owes to the kindness jar. Bat to the kindness jar. I'm kind of with you on that, Courtney. I don't really want it in my face either. Like, just no. No, they're just not, they're not pretty. Why would you want it in your face? Yeah, I don't want that in my face either. Mostly because boob sweat is a real thing. All right, and now I'm going to do little tiny dashes. But I'm going to focus on these lighter ones towards the center. Yeah, I don't even think you guys like them. Like, they get injured so easily. They're not exactly attractive to look at. Like, there's not a lot to recommend nuts. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. Not a lot going for them. Like, clearly Courtney hasn't looked at them very closely, but like anyone else that has, come on, it's a wrinkly sack of skin. Just gross. Just gross. That is That is sort of scary, Telly. I'm gonna be honest. I am sort of afraid of clowns. Not like deeply terrified, but mildly scary. All right, I'll flip the canvas. I'm not doing these light blue all the way around. I'm just doing them around the base part of where I've done these white stars. All right, now I just can't keep up. Why'd you throw yourself in prison? Ooh, all right. That's a lot going on there. All right. Why are we laughing at me now? Why are we laughing at me? I can't follow what's happening anymore. I'm trying not to fuck this up. Holy crap. Why is there a banning spree happening?
I'm banning bots.
Okay. Got it. I was very confused. He's keeping the infections away. He's vaccinating my chat. I didn't even realize that any of that was happening. So, or maybe it's more of a preemptive strike. Maybe he's just preemptively striking. There might be a joke in there somewhere, but there might be a good vulgar joke in there somewhere. I don't need to spell it out, but you got me. He cannot vaccinate you. Oh, okay. Drinky drink occurred. What do you mean not like that? Were you not prepared for me to know it and be like have a dirty mind? I am married to Infectionary. It's sort of a requirement.
That's valid.
You missed some horny jokes. Nothing too serious. I was always unhinged. Being wholesome is not the same as not being unhinged. Like, these are not mutually inclusive concepts. You can be wholesome and totally unhinged. Like, that is a thing that can happen. Thank you. I am very happy with how this is coming out. The devil is literally in the details in a painting style like this. So it just requires an excessive amount of patience. The same way that, like, some of y'all play games like Elden Ring and all those hard-ass games that are way too difficult for me. I level up my patience with this. All right, what is a sussy baka? Baka, educate.
A perverted idiot.
A perverted idiot?
Yeah.
You owe to the kindness jar. You called yourself an idiot. Unacceptable. You can call yourself a sussy anything else, I guess, but don't call yourself something disparaging. All right, Bat, you owe to the kindness jar too. My understanding of baka is idiot now, so that's not an acceptable word. Courtney, you owe 2 things to the kindness jar. Pay up, pay up. Find it in my Discord. He would not lie to me about the kindness jar. He knows I'm serious about it. I'm getting conflicting reports. Don't make me ask Google. Yoda to the kindness jar. Y'all getting bad. You're getting sloppy. If I check Google and he's wrong, you don't owe anything. But if I check Google and he's right, you owe double. Which means, Courtney, you owe 2. Or would owe 4. Because you said it twice. You doubled down.
Etymology from sussy, suspicious, and baka, stupid. Someone acting foolish or ridiculous. Synonyms, dum-dum.
All right, so the etymology says that the synonym is dum-dum, so you owe twice as much. And Courtney, 4, 2 for Lil Bat. Yoda, you owe 1 for calling yourself ugly AF because it's not true.
It depends on who you ask.
Well, even if he was, he's not allowed to say that about himself.
Fair.
So, y'all know, you understand the assignment? Do you get it? Do you get it? Menacing sunshine.
Bat actually owes 3. She never posted for these nuts too.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That, I'm sorry. I wasn't keeping track like I should have, but he reminds me, yeah, you owe for the D's nuts joke. So, 3 for you. I really do need to make like a tally system. Where it keeps track for me. Now, if y'all could just act right, it wouldn't be necessary. There we go. All right, we're approaching finished. We're almost there. I just got a couple of more small things to do. I'm gonna add a little bit of, a little something there because it feels a little empty, and a little something over here. And that's fair. I thought BBG meant baby girl.
It does.
Well, that's not a bad thing. There's no punishment for calling someone baby girl unless you mean it in a condescending asshole way. If you mean it in a condescending asshole way, that's not okay.
No, she's just really excited.
Okay. So this is an acknowledgement of wifey status that we're excited about?
Yes.
Okay. I retract statement. I retract statement. No one owes for that. That's sweet. That's sweet. All the happy things. Sorry, Yoda, but it is a happy thing. All right. I'm going to go grab my hair dryer real quick. And we'll hit it with the hair dryer, and then we're going to sign it.
We do it as a surprise.
So she's not supposed to do this.
Would you like to braid into an arch streamer or a Dreamlight Valley?
Dreamlight Valley. All right, I'm going to mute it real quick so that way you're not blasted with the sound of the hair dryer. All right, and now I'm going to use a little bit of water to get rid of my chalk line. And we're signing. Ah, that is good, Sally. See, you got it. You got it. Quick, witty one-liners can be Riz too. Go. All right, so I'm going to put my initials down in the corner. E, C, and I'm going to chalk out a little message on here. All right, we will put it on the side over here. And I'm going to do this, I think, with a fine tip Sharpie and then go over it with paint because the lettering will be quite small. I guess I will have to settle for one that works. Sorry, when I'm writing, I have to like hold my breath. All right. Go ahead and get that written in. I'm gonna do it in white so it shows real nice. And I'll have to probably go over it one other time after I get it on there so it shows nice and well. Sort of like when you put your makeup on, you gotta have your mouth open to do it. Oh no, Courtney, don't cry. Don't cry. I'm a sympathetic crier. I will cry too. Oh heck, we're gonna be cry fest. Oh, I can already feel it coming on. Don't start. Don't start. All right, rinse off and touch up my lettering so it's nice and visible. Can someone check on Mans? I'm kind of worried about him. He hasn't spawned in chat recently, and he was really, really sad. We need to do a wellness check. I need to make sure he's not hitting his head against a hot plate.
They're alive.
Okay. Cool. Just checking. Just checking. I worry when he goes silent. scare me like that, man. I was afraid for you, okay? I was afraid. I'm a good person. I was afraid. Just want to make sure you were okay. That's all. Oop. Oop, cloud. Stop it. I just realized a character got left out, so I need to do a correction. Nobody caught it. There's no spell check in art. Oh, I thought all Roblox games, like I didn't realize there were more than one.
Roblox is a platform that people build games inside the game.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that that was a thing. I hope they love this. I hope they love this. Because they're getting a little piece of my soul. They're getting one of my children's. That's right, folks. This piece of sunshine already has a home. Already has a home. It's already been adopted. And what I'm doing now is I'm just sharpening up the letters by adding some darker paint around it, so it's very super noticeable. And it also helps make corrections, so that way it makes it easy to see. Do you want to be adopted by me, Courtney? You can be one of my sunshine children. You can join the Sunshine Children crew. Always happy to adopt some more sunshine. I can say you'll have to fight Paul for that. Shoot. I was doing so good. I was doing so good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I suck.
Sure.
Yeah, I owe to the kindness jar. I owe double to the kindness jar. I gotta follow my own rules. But hey, it means you all get more Luna pictures. All right, and just a little more here. And she's done. Your favorite character to my favorite person. Well, what do you think? Did I do a good job? I'm also covered in paint. I'm glad. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. And for our subscribers, if you've got other ideas, I know we've got an ice cream painting coming up. But if you have any other ideas, pop them into the suggestions area in the subscribers only area of my Discord. Aw, thank you, Zelly. All right, did you find someone? All right, we're ready. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.